Hey Geometry, welcome to Unit 2. This is notes number 1. Unit 2 is all about properties of triangles and parallel lines. Our learning target for these first notes is I can identify and solve problems using angle pairs created by parallel lines and transversals. So here's some vocab that we have to talk about first here. A transversal is a line that crosses two or more parallel lines and creates pairs of congruent and supplementary angles. When we're talking about parallel lines, that is two or more lines that are equidistant. This is a word we haven't used before. Equidistant means the same distance apart. So parallel lines are two or more lines that are equidistant at all points and never intersect. When we have two parallel lines that are being cut by a transversal, we have the interior. That's the space inside the parallel lines. So that would be this space right here. We also have the exterior. That's the space outside the parallel lines. So that would be like up here. And I don't know if this is a metaphor. The example that Miss Abby uses that makes a lot of sense to me is we can think of this like a sandwich. So the exterior, all the stuff on the outside, is like your bun or your bread on either side. And the interior is all the good stuff in the middle. So this is like your meat, your cheese, your condiments. So if you're in the interior, you're inside the sandwich. If you're in the exterior, this would be like the bread. So the angle relationships that we get, the angle pairs, when we have this scenario where I have two parallel lines being cut by a transversal. So the transversal is this line that cuts across my parallel lines. We get a bunch of different angle relationships, and we get a bunch of different either congruent or supplementary angles. So our first angle pair are corresponding angles. Corresponding angles that are two angles that are in the same corner at each intersection. So if I look at my example picture here, I have two different intersections. So if I'm talking about angles being in the same corner, that would be like if I had top right in this first intersection. In my second intersection, my corresponding angle is also the top right angle. And these angles are congruent to each other. And I have more examples of corresponding angles in here. I'll color code them. If we looked top left, those would be the same at both intersections, the top left in each one. We've got bottom right, that would be the same in each intersection. And we've got bottom left. So we have four different pairs of corresponding angles here. Our next relationship are same side interior angles. So angles that are on the same side of the transversal and inside the parallel lines. So I'm going to highlight my transversal. This is angles that are on the same side of the transversal and inside the parallel lines. So this angle right here and this guy right here are both on the same side of the transversal. They're on the right and they are inside the parallel lines. These angles are supplementary. Our next pair are same side exterior angles. These angles are on the same side, but now we are outside the parallel lines. So I'm going to start by highlighting my transversal. Same side exterior. So if we go with on the left, here's one. On the same side of that transversal, but also in the exterior, would be this angle right here at the bottom. These angles are also supplementary. Our next angle pair is alternate interior angles. These are angles that are on opposite sides of the transversal and inside the parallel lines. So I'm going to start by highlighting my transversal. My angles are on opposite sides of the transversal, but inside the parallel lines. So if I start with this angle, on the opposite side of the transversal, but still inside my parallel line, would give me this one right here. Now I have another pair of alternate interior angles here. If we look at this angle, on the opposite side of the transversal, but still on the interior, it would match up to this one. These angles, our alternate interior, are congruent. Our last angle pair, there's a typo in here. Alternate exterior angles are not on the same side of the transversal. They're alternate angles, so these are on opposite sides of the transversal. But now we are outside the parallel lines. So I'm going to start by highlighting my transversal. So I need an exterior angle, and then I need an angle that's also exterior, but on the opposite side of our transversal. And there's another pair here. If I started with this angle, my alternate exterior angle would be this one right here. Alternate exterior angles are also congruent. So one good way to remember if things are congruent or if they are supplementary are same side relationships. Our same side are supplementary. So same side supplementary, alternate sides congruent. There are some practice problems on the back here. So try those problems and then check the answer key video that I'll post after this one.